Hi friends, it's Amanda here from Fun Hands-On Learning. In today's video, I'd like to share with you how I am organizing our learning printables. Now, I've showed you in previous videos kind of how I do organize our learning printables, but I've never done a specific video just dedicated to how I do it. So I thought it would be a good chance to do a whole video just dedicated to how I'm organizing them. And also, I have a lot of new subscribers, so welcome. And I thought maybe you guys haven't seen how I organize our learning printables. So this video is just going to be quickly showing you how I organize our learning printables and maybe give you some ideas and some tips. If you have fun, exciting ways how you organize your learning printables, be sure to leave that in the comments below because I would love to check that out and read through them, and I'm sure other people on this channel would like to see that as well. Just a caveat to remind you guys, when you do leave comments on my channel, all of my comments have to be approved. So it may take a day or two for you to actually see your comment show up, but I do go in there and I do read them and I do approve the comments as they come. All right, so if you are excited to see how I organize all of our learning printables and curriculum, let's go. So first things first, in our schoolroom, we have these 4 big cabinets here. And inside this cabinet is where I keep all of the learning printables. Most of them come from curriculum that I have written and the activities that I have done myself, but there are a few activities mixed in that might be from somewhere else. All right, so as you can tell, the main thing that I do is I have bins that I label, and I label them by whatever they are. So this top shelf here is all math. And then the next section here, these next 2 shelves are my phonics for reading curriculum. So it's all the different units. And then this shelf underneath that is the one on the right is my hands-on to learn preschool curriculum, and then also my math to enjoy and learn and my best starts for language arts curriculum is kind of underneath there. And then on the left I have just a mix-up of all sorts of reading and phonics type skills. And then on the bottom here, I know I'm not close up, but I'm going to show you close up in a minute. I'm just giving you an overview really quick. On the left here, those bins are all alphabet activities. And then on the right, those bins are my seasonal specific activities. All right, so what I'm going to do is I'm going to show you specifically, I'm going to take out a few bins and just kind of show you specifically how I organize within the bins. Okay friends, I took out bins from some of the different sections that I had in the cabinet that you saw. So I'm going to go through them and show you exactly how I organize everything. Okay, I'm going to try to link these bins off of Amazon in the description box below. That's where I got them. I haven't bought any recently, but I always am buying more because I'm always creating new curriculum or printing off new things and I need more storage space. So I'm gonna take a look and see if they're still available on Amazon. If they are, I will leave the link below. But basically they are paper size and they have these 2 clips here. So you undo both clips and then the lid comes off. This specific one is from my phonics for reading curriculum. This is unit 8 on our controlled vowels. Now I created these little labels on my computer. They also come in the curriculum when you download them. I printed them on label paper and then I just stuck them on the front of the bin. So if you are organizing yours and you have printed things out that didn't come with a label, just make your own on the computer, print it out and stick it on, or you can even just write whatever it is on the front, obviously, very easily. So, and these labels have held up for me. I haven't had any issues. So anyways, let's hop in and I'll show you kind of how I have it laid out. So within each bin, I have everything organized into Ziploc bags. That's basically how I keep them. So I use the quart size bags a lot for smaller things and smaller activities. And then I use the gallon size bags if I need it for larger activities. So let's see here. So here you see I have these flashcard sticks and they're all separated by their type in these Ziploc bags. I get my Ziploc bags from Costco. They come in a variety pack. Then here you see, here's one of the gallon size bags, and this has a label on it, and this tells me exactly what this activity is, and it gives me directions on how to use this activity. So when I create my activities in my curriculum, I usually include direction cards that look like this in the curriculum so that you can print them off. I print them out on label paper and I stick them onto the bag. And then inside I have everything that I need for the activity printed out. It is laminated and cut out, and then I just put everything into the bag. So when we are ready to use it, it's right there and it's ready to go. So again, that's what I did here. This one all fit into a quart size bag, and so that is what you see here. And then the label I just put across this way so that it would fit. All right, and then I have other things in here that might not be in a bag. Like, for example, these are our fluency cards. And so I just have them in here. They're on the little ring, and so I don't put them in a bag. All right, so as you can just see, another activity inside the quart size bag. And then here I have Flip It books. Again, they're on rings, so I didn't feel the need to have to put them in a Ziploc bag because it's contained. So then that's what you see here is just some of these on rings. And then sometimes I also have cards, like these are some Build It cards where they would build the word storm, S-T-O-R-M, with their magnetic letters here. And so what I did with these cards is I just clipped them with a binder clip, so I didn't have to use an entire Ziploc bag. I just did binder clips. The last thing that I have in here are some of the readers that come with the curriculum. I printed these out and I attached them to book rings. So I just have those in here. I don't have them in any kind of bag just because there would be no need to, because they are kind of self-contained. So that is one example of how I store everything, and it's all just super easy to kind of get to, and when I'm flipping through and when I'm preparing my activities. All right, let me show you another bin. All right, so here is a math bin that I took out. It is working on comparing numbers. So again, I have my label here telling me that this is comparing numbers. Most of the activities in here are from my Early Learners Math curriculum. And again, I put them in Ziploc bags. Now you'll notice that these Ziploc bags that I had at the time were the kind that were a little bit smaller. They're the kind that you're supposed to be able to stand and fill up with food, and it's all I had at the moment. These are not the ones that you get at Costco, but I, for whatever reason, had that. So you can see that the mat here that I'm using with this activity is a little big, but that's okay. It still stays contained. I just can't zip it up. And technically, even with the regular gallon size bags like this one, you can't, if you have a full 8.5 by 11 sheet of paper, sometimes you cannot, you kind of can't zip it, but that's fine with me because it's all just keeping the activity contained where it needs to be. So this is a greater than, less than activity that I made, like, I mean, I want to say way back in like 2013 maybe. So those are in here, and then this is like from my Early Learners Math curriculum. That was 2017. But yeah, you can kind of just see more activities. Yeah, I mean, here's a dinosaur comparing it activity. This is actually one of my pre-K summer review books. And I know it says summer review, but I use them at all times of the year, so I don't actually have a bin just dedicated to summer review. I put them where they, like with the activities that it goes with. So since this is comparing numbers, I put it in here, even though it's technically got a summer theme to it. We do these all throughout the year. So you can see some dry erase markers. But yeah, so that's in here. Yeah, just some more activities from my Early Learners Math curriculum on comparing numbers. But again, as you see, nice and easily contained in the Ziploc bags with labels, so I know exactly what everything is. All right, another bin that I have here is colors from my Hands On to Learn preschool curriculum. And so this bin, I wanted to show you, so I have different bins for each section of the curriculum. So there's like a unit on colors, and there's alphabet and numbers and shapes, things like that. So this is the one on colors. So what I did in here is there are instructional activities and then there's hands-on activities. So what I did is I separated each of the instructional activities into a Ziploc bag. So this is gallon-sized Ziploc bag, and the first one has the color introduction and memory pages. So here's blue, and then there's red, and all of them are in here. So I have, you know, blue, red, purple, and so on. Then I separated out, these are all of the color pictures that the kids can color. So there's blue, here's red, they're all kind of in order. So I can take them out if we're working on a specific color for the week with preschool or whatever. Then I have the color fluency pages. Again, same thing. So here's blue, and then, you know, there's green, and so on. They're all in there. And then these are the color strips. So if we wanted to work on color strips, I have all the different ones here. Blue, red, green, you know, they're all in there, brown. Okay, same thing here, color identification pages. These are actually activity pages, but they're part of the instructional activities. So there's red and blue, and you get the idea, they're all in there. Same thing, here's the color strips. I won't make you look at all of them. Then after that, I finally get into the activities, the activity centers. So here's an activity center, matching colors. Here's color kid match and spin and cover colors. Same thing, I'm always putting the label on there so I remember exactly what it is, and it kind of reminds me of how you do the activity, and it has little notes in it. Even though I'm the one writing the curriculum, I still forget sometimes how to do it, and I don't want to have to go look up on my computer if I'm forgetting exactly how I had intended the activity to be used. You buy something or print something out that doesn't have the directions, I would highly recommend you writing the directions and then somehow sticking it on to the front of your Ziploc bags. That way, I don't know, it's just easier when you go to grab it when you're writing your curriculum. You don't have to go back on your computer and look through directions and try to remember exactly how to do it. Now this one I wouldn't probably forget how to do these. These are color puzzles. But still, if I didn't have like a label there, I'd have to look at it and go, oh yeah, these were color puzzles. Like you'd have to try to remember, especially like if I didn't even have the name of this. So if I didn't have orange carrot sort, I didn't have any label on this, I would kind of have to look at it and go, okay, what was this? I can't really remember what I was supposed to do. Oh yeah, then if I have the label, I can read it and go, oh yeah, they're supposed to separate and put all of the pictures that are, you know, orange in the basket. You know, so it's just good to have it labeled. So that would be my one tip, is to just make sure you're labeling everything, because you do forget. I don't know, if you're anything like me, you do forget. So that's what this is. These are, I won't go through all of them. Okay, I wanted to show you that I do also have bins that aren't specific to any one set curriculum. So for example, this bin is labeled sight words. So anything that I have created or printed out that has to do with sight words goes in this bin. Now, so it doesn't have to do with curriculum, it's just all sight words. So I have a handful of different bins like that. I just categorize them by whatever I had a lot of. So like I have a bin, I'm looking over here on reading sentences. So it says reading sentences, and then it's all activities about reading sentences. So you get the idea. So let me just show you this one really quick. So these are all activities or things that have to do with sight words. So here are some sight word cards that we have here. I forget which list this is. I really actually should have labeled this, but I made these a long time ago, so they are not labeled. But that would be an example of how you should label things. So here's a sight word, Doe Activity Center, sight words. That's a fun one. Here's fill the basket, sight words. Here's sight words, spin and cover. I try to either include, so on my full sheets, if I have a mat that the kids are going to use, I do not laminate them usually. I will put them into a sleeve like this. This is a sleeve, you know, for a binder. Or I lately have not been even putting them in binder sleeves. I have just been putting them in the bag not in a sleeve or anything. And then when I go to do the activity, I will put them in a sleeve because I have the actual reusable sleeves now. When I created this activity was back in 2017 when I was using all of these binder sleeves, but now I have the reusable sleeves, and so I usually just print things out, and if it's a full page, I just put it right in the bag, not even in a sleeve, and it's perfectly fine. I do, however, whenever I have spinners or things like that, I try to always include the spinner in the activity, so I'm not searching for any pieces. I don't want to be looking for anything when I grab the activity. I want the spinner to be right there, ready to go. So these two frogs in here, they have the spinners on them. So I want everything in the bag that I need, so I can just grab the bag and we are set. I don't want to have, well, maybe not everything. I still will have to get, you know, if it needs Play-Doh or big things, or, you know, I will go get. But even this activity here, I even included the little frogs because we don't really use these frogs for anything other than this activity, really. And so in that case, I just kept the frogs in here with it. But for other, you know, activities, or if I thought I wanted to be able to use these frogs for other things, I would probably take them out. But anyways, they're in here. So the moral of the story is I try to keep as much in the bag as possible that I know I'm going to need for the activity. But so there you go. All right, so here are some, you know, animal puzzles. Build a cupcake sight word activity center. Again, they're all labeled and they're all in their bag. So one thing I wanted to mention as well is if you look here closely, this activity is called Roll and Make a Pizza, Sight Word Activity Center. This activity actually comes with these dice that you make, and you obviously can't put them in the bag and make everything fit because they're big dice. So what I tend to do is when I put all of these bins in the cabinet, I left this bin on top. That way I could just put these two dice on top of that bin, and they were with this bin. So they were just sitting on top. So there are a few times when I have to improvise because not everything will fit. But for the most part, I try to fit any of the printable type activities in their bag and then in their bin. So these two were just sitting on top like that in the cabinet. All right, we're almost done. I just wanted to show you this bin because I wanted to show you how sometimes I get a little lazy and I don't print everything out. So for this bin, I wrote the name of the curriculum just in my own handwriting. So what I did is I just cut out a piece of label paper and wrote it with a Sharpie. That's it. So it doesn't have to be, it doesn't have to be fancy. It doesn't have to be anything special. You don't have to have all these fancy labels. It's perfectly fine just to write it in there with your hand. So this is my entire math to enjoy and learn curriculum, and I tried to kind of keep like activities together, but it doesn't always happen because when I'm putting activities back, again, sometimes I'm lazy and I just throw them in the bin, and as long as they're in the bin, they made it there, I'm happy. But for example, I have like beehive multiplying. This activity is here, so then the next activity is also a multiplication activity, multiply with dough. And then we have pizza multiplying. So I tried to keep like all the multiplication activities together. And then we have Strawberry Patch addition. So this one would be an addition activity. Now the next one should be an addition activity, but here I see place value pet turtle. So here's where I got off track, and some of them are mixed up because sometimes when I am putting things back, I don't always put them exactly where they're supposed to be, but you get the idea. As long as they're in the right bin, I am happy. Okay, last but not least, this bin says winter. Again, I just wrote it with a Sharpie because I wasn't feeling like making labels, and that's okay. So this is one of my bins of curriculum that is themed for the seasons. So I have winter, I have Christmas, I have fall and Thanksgiving, spring and Easter, and then a Valentine's bin. So just to give you kind of a little idea of how I do it, every activity in this bin is winter themed. And again, I tried to keep labels on everything, as you can see. So, so these activities may be like, this is a phonics activity, so it kind of goes with, I have a bin all about long vowels, so it goes with that. But since it's winter themed, I want to keep all of my winter things together. That way, when it's winter time, like right now, it's January, I can just sit down, open up this bin, and go through it and see if there's anything in here that I want the kids to work on. Okay, so just another idea, another kind of category you can have as you're organizing your printables. All right, guys, I think that's all I have for this video. Thank you so much for watching. Let me know in the comments below if you organize your printables differently, or if this was helpful for you at all, or if you have any questions, and I would be happy to help you out. Again, I'll try to link these bins below because I know I'll get questions about where'd you get the bins. I got them off Amazon, and if I can find the link, I will link them. And they stack really well, you know, on top of each other, as long as you don't overstuff them like I tend to do. You can kind of overstuff them and they still will close because they have these, you know, these little clips. So I kind of like that feature. But anyways, thank you guys for watching. We will see you in the next video. Bye.